Hello! Today is a beautiful day, not just because of my beautiful eyes, because we have mana and I think our day bloom exploded. But who cares? We have the mana powder. However, our main job for today is the inventory panel from Ender.io. Our dark steel is ready, our solarium is almost ready, and the quest is complete. Since we want every single quest to count, we're going to do this by the book. We start with some capacitors, some machine chassis, an axe, shears, 2 motors, and obviously one slice and splice, which essentially means that in order to operate it, we're going to need 1 more shear and 1 more axe. And this was the extent of what we could do by the book. Because the quest book wants us to make a soul binder is going to need vibrant alloy is going to need a vacuum freezer requires a workstation, and workstation requires a clean room. So screw the rewards, we make the inventory panel. Oh, you're fun and slow? It's fine, we're not in a hurry. The logic controller. Perfection. Next we need to make some construction powder. Once pulverized, it's going to give us the binder composite, and that inside a chemical bath with molten rubber is going to give us conduit binder. Thankfully, one of the items that we have already made is pulsating iron ingots, which means if we make a nugget mold, we should be able to convert it into nuggets. Those nuggets together with a diamond are going to give us a pulsating crystal. Thank you. We actually need 2. After being tired of making so many computer monitor covers and making 6 of them so that I don't have to craft it ever again, here is a display, here are 2 remote awareness upgrades, and here is the inventory panel, which is not a quest. Having the inventory panel on its own is not going to be enough. We need to be able to provide it with nutrient distillation, and for that we're going to need the vat. But also, having the vat on its own is not going to be sufficient. Since that biome is not very humid, what we're going to do is that we're going to make a reservoir. We need 3 more electric motors, that is good. And if everything goes fine, 1 more pump. Yes. Now I just have to go and find my fused quartz. We're going to need 2 sets, so there you go. And I was hoping that would be a quest, but it's not. Because of inventory management issues, I could not wait for everything to be set up. So the vat is over here, and we do have some nutrient distillation. That's actually a decent amount. But you might notice that remote awareness upgrades are incredibly expensive. Each one of them requires 2 HP circuits. So we're not going to use them on normal chest, we're going to use it on the compressed chest. Which on its own, it's also not very cheap. But it has 243 slots, so that's good. Another problem is that it takes ages to make. But in any case, I have made the 6 diamond chests that we need. No? Yes. And we have the pistons, we're just waiting for obsidian plates. Another thing that we should have is a few item conduit speed upgrades, which is made from the basic item filter and an LV piston. And well, we need the item filter from GregTech, and that's what I'm making. A few episodes ago we also got 8 item conduits as a reward, oh, and 2 filters. Nice. So if I'm not wrong, we're almost good to go. So just for testing purposes, if we give you nutrient distillation, you're online, and we have access to this chest. Great. I just have to wait for my compressed chests, which could take a while. You have absolutely no idea how much time and effort this is going to save. I'm garbage at inventory management. And also, once we have this set up, we don't really have to rush towards AE2. It's just that I regret not making that stupid compressor. And we have the speed upgrades, that is perfect. That means I can have my first compressed chest, that is perfection. You just get an awareness upgrade, and we should have access to it. Do we? Yes. So now what we should be able to do is to break some chests. This has decent storage. It has been a few hours later, and finally we have a base which is neat and clean. Oh, you can see that node. There is a function in Thaumcraft called node bullying, and this is how you would bully them. You break it. Don't do that, nodes are very useful. Yes, now the base is neat and clean. I'm happy. Also, the reason that we have a tank over here is that I have to put diesel because we have a combustion generator so that we can power the machines from Ender.io as well as the charger, you know, so that I can charge stuff. But the vat is also directly connected to the inventory panel, so it will automatically provide it with nutrient distillation. We also have a ton of garbage which don't really stack, and it's not really good inside the compressed chest, so I put them here. And yes, we're not gonna talk about them. The base is clean. However, life must move on. I just realized I look weird in 1.7. Is it always like this? I don't know. Apparently, I look younger. So what is our next plan? What we're going to do is that we're going to get some polytetrafluoroethylene, aka go to hell. We are going to need a ton of resources. This is why I have been processing some cryolite, which if the redstone finishes one day, we would be able to put these guys inside an electrolyzer and get tons of fluorine. Which means I need an HV electrolyzer, and I just realized that. It would be lovely if you just make it. No. This is the last of our stainless steel supply, but don't you worry, I'm making more. Yeah, it takes time to update. So now you should work. Please. Do you know what is the problem? We don't have electron wires. Yes, now it works. Are you a quest? Why not? I guess someone in the pack development team didn't like you. You're an advanced chemical reactor? There is going to be an explosion in the base because everything is right next to each other. This is HV, MV, LV, and you know, it's not really good. We have more stainless steel. That is good at least. And I'm trying to make as many cells as I can. Cryolite takes 34 seconds. Or maybe that's the last piece of redstone? Oh yeah, that was the last piece of redstone. Cryolite takes 8 seconds. The fact that we had to make another electrolyzer is not that bad because in addition to fluorine, we also need chlorine. So I can process my sodalite. And you know, empty the chests. Yes, fluorine. What do you give me instead? Sodium and aluminium. Okay. This time we have to make sure that the quests are going to count because the things that we're going to get are going to be worth it. Then again, maybe not. Why rock salt? This is worth it. We can melt it down for more stainless steel. So we have hydrogen, we have fluorine. Now we need to make hydrofluoric acid. Very good. We are making it. It's just that we're waiting for much more fluorine. Also, this is literally the best part about the inventory panel because you can find anything that you want. And I don't have to go through 4 million different chests. Also, while we are processing some cryolite, yep, I have 665. The quest wants us to make 48 buckets, but we're going to make way more. This is something that we're going to need in very large quantities and we want to try and make the big chemical reactor. So we're going to need tons and tons. But for the quest, we're done. Thank you. I wanted to make as much as I can. The problem is that I'm running out of cells. So I think the logical thing to do is that we're going to make a bunch of chloroform, then we are going to make a bunch of Teflon, and since our cells are going to be released, we rinse and repeat. Chlorine and methane should give us chloroform and hydrochloric acid. And it eats through the chlorine. But yeah, this is the quest. Now let us make go to hell. Oh, this one requires an HV chemical reactor. So 1 chloroform, 2 hydrofluoric acid. Oh, and it's slow. Very slow. You know, we do have a few problems in this mod pack. One of the things that we absolutely have to produce is oxygen. And when I say we have to produce it, I don't mean as a byproduct. We need to produce large quantities of oxygen. Obviously, the other one is going to be hydrogen. And of course, the final one is going to be nitrogen. Not as a byproduct. Byproducts are garbage. We need to have huge setups, and the main problem is that we don't have any fuel. So maybe biodiesel should be our priority. Obviously, after we get this. But the issue is that if we manage to get the large chemical reactor, which I don't think there's anything to stop us, making biodiesel is going to be a piece of cake. It's even LV. Oh my goodness, look at the amount of oxygen. Yeah, that definitely counted. Come on, give me one more. Just one more. Yes, thank you. I just wanted to make sure that the quest is going to count. That is good. Yes. Molten polytetrafluoroethylene. But we don't actually need it like that. We need the sheets. So you eject to the right and 1 plate mold. Perfection. We have the sheets. It has been some time later and we do have the sheets that we wanted. All of them, and the quest counted. Also yes, I'm still buying wafers because we need way more diodes. I came up with a plan for generating power so that we can generate more power, but that requires a lot of circuits and a lot of steel. Oh, and by the way, here are the sheets. I hope it's going to be enough for the large chemical reactor, otherwise, you know, it's just a sheet. Since we need a lot of steel and the electronic blast furnace is working, let's take it from here. Oh, you have the iron. You need charcoal. I told you these guys are going to be useful. We are not going to do this project this episode because I'm going to need tons of resources and, well, I'm still processing. Today we're just going to make the chemical reactor, the big one. So obviously we need the controller. I hate rotors, chemically inert machine casing, go to hell pipe, and well, the coils we have. But obviously we're going to need a maintenance hatch. I think it was called input hatch. Yes, for fluids. We can't make it HV, right? I mean, you kind of can. We might need an assembler. We will see. Output hatch and input bus. If everything is HV, I guess you can also be HV. I don't really care. The recipe is LV, so we can get away by having an MV energy hatch. And literally like 1 turbine. We have also knocked out a bunch of quests, so let us claim our rewards. I'm going to take the fluid cell. Oil is very manual. I can use a big cell. You're gonna give me garbage? Thank you. I love salt. And biotite. For making biodiesel we need something called sodium hydroxide. I made a stack and we get a few rewards. A loot bag, I guess. Sword of the Cosmos. You wear it. After a bunch of crafting, here is our advanced assembling machine and that should be a quest. Thank you, very kind. The compressed chest was also a quest, but we need a mining device. That's a shame. By the way, in the meantime I decided that maybe I should switch from tin to soldering alloy for making the circuits because it's much more efficient. I'm not really short on tin, but processing tin takes a lot of time. It hasn't even started. I was going to say that we need to convert some of our Teflon into fluid, but that's an MV recipe. Yeah, everything is just MV. Fine by me. Can it also be HV? Why not? Actually, I need you. Because I mean, what the hell is the point? You make something in medium voltage, then later on you're going to need it in high voltage. So we just make the high voltage. Thank you. It seems basically I'm crafting things which are not quests. So my dearest friend, you're the wrong one. What was the difference? Yeah, I can't really afford to make that many mistakes. I still don't really get it, but apparently this is a fluid extractor. I just want it for this. Yes. I think if we melt down one stack, that should be more than enough for whatever we want to do. Yeah, one stack of cells. HV machine hall iron tank circuit number 1 is going to give us the input hatch. If we put it to circuit number 2, it should be output hatch. So these are off the list. Input bus is again circuit number 1. Oh, it could have been done with polyethylene. It's fine, we are not wasting that much. What I want to do is that I want to convert some of that into ingots. Good, good. I need to make rods. We also need to make some of these solid steel machine casings, and it seems if we do it inside an assembler, it's going to be much cheaper. So steel plates and frames. Oh, that's fast. Then somehow we need to infuse it with Teflon. So circuit number 6. Some Teflon. And yes, it does burn. The quest says minimum of 8, but minimum is never enough. We're almost done, we just need the Teflon frame box. Give me a few, and we take it out, so that we don't waste it. And give me some more, just in case. Thank you. I also just remembered we're out of HV circuits. But there's nothing to worry about, we don't need a crazy amount. We just need 4 for the large chemical reactor controller and that's it. But in the meantime, here is the pipe casing itself. And after waiting for the circuits, the large chemical reactor. Thank you for the quest. As the reward of the assembling machine, I'm going to take the loot bag and literally hope for the best. I don't know, should I be happy or not? I'm not really happy. However, for the large chemical reactor, I'm gonna take the fluid pipes. Because I think each one of them is made from like 6 plates and, well, this is 16. Technically, I should be able to melt it down and make another large chemical reactor. Oh, aren't there? No coins in the system. My bad. Hello! Lovely news. It has problems. And of course, it's the only problem that I cannot solve. Circuitry burns out. We need a soldering iron, and since my charge pad is MV, we have to make it MV. As the reward for some of the crops, I did manage to get a battery. Medium sodium battery. That's not the one. Can I somehow empty you? Yes. Ah, our stupid mistake has paid off. We need an extractor. Perfect. We get the empty hole. So you have to be lithium, and it does work in an LV canning machine. Okay, that's good. The question remains, what do we make it out of? Oh, you can make it out of sticks. It's fine. I think we have some Damascus or vanadium steel. We will use that. We don't have vanadium steel. We also don't have Damascus steel. Can it be cobalt? I thought cobalt is going to be great. No. Actually, it does seem whatever we use, it's gonna be garbage. Unless we make it out of dark steel. It's fine. I can waste some. It's also a really good thing that I made the soldering alloy. We charge you up. Soldering alloy wire, we need to convert it into fine wire. Oh yeah, I know. It's better than duct tape. Because your duct tape kind of failed. Oh. Thank you, thank you. We're gonna smack you with a mallet and make me stainless steel. Now that we have made this soldering iron, I was thinking maybe we should also get a wrench and a screwdriver. Basically, these are electronic versions of the ones that we have. They have higher durability and they can be recharged. And obviously when the durability runs out, we can just recycle them. At this age, we don't really have access to that many alloys, but I think if we go with something like vanadium steel, it should be good. It's just that I have never made vanadium steel. How do you make it? Okay, steel, chrome, vanadium. Why do I have so much electrical steel? Okay, I think vanadium steel is also a quest, so if we do that, it's not the worst thing in the world. What the hell are you? Oh, it's a super tank. I put it there and I forgot. I think it's one of those things that has to be cooked with oxygen, so let's add some oxygen to the blast furnace. and take the cells out. You go in and get cooked. In the meantime, we really don't have that much diesel, but we can waste. Oh nice, our first vanadium steel. The quest book suggests that we use vibrant alloy, but vibrant alloy requires the vacuum freezer, workstation, clean room, and you know the rest, so no. Anyways, let me get the tools because I also have to make the batteries, and I'll be right back. I put the crystals. I don't like them. The tools are ready and durability is not the best, but what can you do? I think last time we made it out of titanium and vibrant alloy, but it's better than a normal wrench, so who cares? Actually, it's significantly faster. Also, if you're wondering what the hell am I doing, I have to reorganize my chests because they're getting full, so I have to consume some of the resources. Rubies seem to be a nice choice to start with because you consume 6, it will give you 3 outputs. And then I'm going to spend that alumina dust in order to make aluminium. So it's a 6:1 ratio. Anyways, inventory management is not very important. We got more stuff. I'll try to process a few stuff. I'll be right back. It has been a few hours later and I have been incredibly busy with something that I can't really show on camera. Crops. The most boring subject. So a few episodes ago we did manage to get a few crops that we wanted in order to progress. One of them was the goldfish. Another one is stickweed because it's going to give us resin. And I'm also trying to get some glow flowers. They're going to give us glowstone. There's also these guys, the tear stalks, which are going to give us gas tears, but I'm giving up hope. There's no point in them. They're just incredibly slow. Also, we have the crops in order to make fish oil, and we also have the crop in order to make seed oil. Seed oil gives us more yield, it's faster to process, but it takes longer to grow. Fish oil on the other hand, it's going to give us less yield, it's slower to process, but it grows super fast. So we're going to go with fish oil. The crops are not yet optimized, but I'm really tired of growing crops. So I'm just going to remove the crop sticks, so that we don't get wheat on the crops. And maybe in between another episode, I'm just going to optimize them. Oh, and by the way, we also have oak bonsai trees because that's going to give us a lot of oak. I really wanted to go with spruce, but spruce is far, far behind oak. I removed everything, right? Because even if I leave one, there's going to be a disaster. I think we're good. Vines. Sure. From mutating crops, I also did manage to get a bunch of garbage stickweed seeds, which I planted them here, so that we can have some resin. For the moment, later on it's going to be automatic. Also look at the power on the scanner. I have scanned so many garbage. Go charge up. So some of you very observant viewers might notice that I'm missing one tool, my shovel. I have probably put it in a chest and I can't find it. So I thought just before we wrap up today's episode, we're going to upgrade our tools and get a few weapons. And I think in order to upgrade our tools, we're going to need some cobaltite. We want them out of cobalt. Awesome, gravel when you don't have a shovel. What I want to do is that I want to make the magnesium crossbow. It was amazing the last time that we played and I'm hoping that it's still going to be amazing. The problem is that if we want the quest to count, we're going to need an LV extruder, so that this quest is also going to count. And now we're going to start crafting it. Oh, and by the way, there is an 11% chance of getting a cobalt dust from cobaltite. So far I had nothing. So I'm electrolyzing it and we get cobalt dust. Anyways, these are not very important. Let me gather everything and I'll be right back. Actually, everything that we're going to do is going to need an advanced extruder, so let's make it. Oh, it's one of those days that I don't have anything. Yes, MV extruder. Why aren't you a quest? It's fine, can't really do anything about it. And I think cobalt has to be cooked. We don't have any of the gases, so... Yeah, it is circuit number 1. Oh, we're out of diesel. Ew. So as usual, I did manage to get myself into a stupid rabbit hole. I wanted all the quests to count, but unfortunately we are having a problem. There is a quest here which tells you that if you make vanadium steel tipped bolts, it's going to be better. You cannot melt down vanadium steel in a basic fluid extractor, but we had an HV one. You cannot solidify it in a basic fluid solidifier, so I made the advanced one, the HV. But the quest wants you to make the MV fluid solidifier, so I'm really not gonna waste resources on that. Oh, and by the way, hammerhead takes ages, 640 seconds. I don't want to bore you to death, but I really want these 5 pieces of irodite, but the quest is not counting. Do you know why? Because this bolt tells you that parts can be replaced, but apparently it has to be iron, not vanadium steel, which mine is made out of vanadium steel. Oh, finally, you're ready. So you should be able to melt down iron, good. Basic one couldn't. So if we make it with iron, it don't work. Yeah, with copper nickel it does work. Maybe it's acceptable. We are also required to make a carbon crossbow limb. Apparently it's better. So do you count? Yeah, the bolt thing is bugged out. It's fine. I probably have to go and get my own irodite. Ah yes, Ardite. After a bunch of time, we finally have the Ardite crossbow body. Therefore we should be able to upgrade our crossbow, and I'm really hoping that's going to increase the durability. It's 72 with carbon, 100 with Ardite, okay. But I kind of just remembered, the one that I was very excited about was the energetic alloy one. And also the bolts which are made from meteoric steel ingot. But this one is still quite fine. It can one-shot the mobs. Although I'm not really going to complain because we did manage to get cobalt tools, and most importantly, an extruder. I don't have to craft those stupid rotors ever again. Oh, and by the way, we did make the large chemical reactor, but we are not using it. It's just in a chest. We are going to use it for automation of biodiesel. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's also a good time to wrap up the episode. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Till the next one, bye bye.